My first networking experience that translated into a job is that I had a fellowship to study in Japan outside of Tokyo, and the day before I left, before I left Japan, I was leaving Japan to go through the Trans-Siberian Railroad across the Soviet Union, and I got a letter from my dad who said, "Hey, a friend of mine's son is in Finland, and when you get to Helsinki, you ought to go look him up." So I ended up taking my 21-day trip through the Soviet Union and went up through Helsinki, met with this guy who was the head of Chase Manhattan Bank in Helsinki, who got me an intro when I get back to the United States to Chase Manhattan in New York, and I got my job. So it was like my first serious networking opportunity that translated into a job. So I'd like to say, and most of my friends who know me say, a pretty well networked guy. And it starts back from that first job I got at Chase Manhattan Bank many years ago. I have responsibility for a philanthropic budget. I work with all of our line of business leaders who will eventually make the decision on what organizations we support, what boards we're on, how our team members are going to be involved. So I have really the CSR function at Wells Fargo that I have responsibility for, and I got to tell you, I have a lot of fun doing it. It's nice. I've been on the side of asking for money in previous positions, and being on the side where you're giving the money out and you're seeing the impact that you're having is just an outstanding experience. Of advice that I would give is just be open, listen more than you talk, and having the opportunity to be somebody who in the community is known as somebody who you can go to, whatever the issue is. And so I look at folks in my community like Adolfo Enriquez, like Jack Lowell, like Tony Argis, like Harv Mogul, who haven't really been official mentors of mine, but over my career I've been able to go to them and talk to them about things that are going on, and they've always given me great advice. And so I encourage particularly young people to identify who is the person who you've got a relationship with that you can pick up the phone and call and get to kind of just bounce some things off, whether it's small or big. People want to help. I think that's what I've always found in my career. People want to help other people, and people that they like, they really want to help. And that's not only how you get business, but that's how you get job opportunities. That's how you get new opportunities in your career and in personal, social life as well. I'm out in the community a lot, doing a lot of good things, working with Frost Science or whatever it might be. That's kind of where I spend a lot of my time. I do have hobbies of reading and play a little golf when I can, and I have a son who's a really competitive sailor at the Coconut Grove Sailing Club, so I spend a lot of time out there, not necessarily on the water, but watching him on the water, having a lot of fun sailing. So I try to take advantage of everything that South Florida has to offer for us, because there's just so much to do every single day. When I hear somebody talk about whether they should be a Chamber of Commerce member, Greater Miami Chamber member, it's never a very long conversation for me, because I go right to the heart of why the Chamber impacts people's lives. And it's because it's about people. It's good people who are trying to build a better community, whether it's their business environment, the cultural environment and arts, or helping homeless people. The Chamber is always at that table, and many times they're the first one at the table, pulling people together to look at the issues that are facing our community. And I don't think there's any better organization in South Florida than the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce to change this community.